Greetings, all you exorcists out there. I'm Duuz-Diz-Din, and I'm coming at you with well, another piss poor attempt to actually recall what's going on in this manga. Like, I'm desperately trying to keep up, but I'm gonna be doing a whole bunch of I don't know who that is. I'm not sure who that is. I'm still confused as to what exactly this is. I feel like nothing has really been answered. And it just gets even more wicked confusing with this opening where we see Mana slash the Millennium Earl, Alan slash Red, and Cross Martin slash Dead. Or is he? It's really stupid hard to tell sometimes if certain people are dead, because Cross Martin was apparently assassinated, but the way that he was taken out, I'm just like, it feels like that doesn't, Apocrypho's killing him just feels like, what? No, that can't be just the end of Cross Martin. But you see a younger Cross Martin walking into this church, and you see this man strung up by all these webbings and stuff. And he's turning black because of the Akuma Virus radiating throughout his being, which is something that we really have not seen in the longest time. The Akuma Virus infecting people. Like, just this thing that's just so long has not been seen, because the Akuma just have not been that prominent lately. It's all about Apocryphos and the Noah and all that good stuff. Remember when the, level 4 Akuma used to be big shit? Not anymore. Very much not anymore. But, this is almost regardless. Cross is sorry, apologizes to the man for not being there when he needed him, so I really have no idea who this person is. I feel like I really should. I feel like this should be a big emotional moment, but it's just like, this person apologizes, tells Cross not to worry about it, and hopes that Cross finds who he's looking for, and he disintegrates. Meanwhile, this other Akuma comes out of nowhere. Very creepy, nice design, and it would be really cool to actually see what actually happens in this battle, as, so you see all these kind of similar looking Akuma pop out that have these spider bodies, which, explain the spider web, but Cross, being the nonchalant, super cool guy that he is starts to, talking to God and asking God in, his, deep manly voice, hey God, is this mission more important than human life? And naturally he doesn't get a response, but he's just like, silent as always, God. And then he just starts shooting at the various Akuma in this place, completely off screen. So naturally we don't even get to see him throw down with these things, but Tim Campy comes to Cross with a report about, the boy Red, basically, and the fact that he has innocence embedded in his arm, but, he says that sometimes when innocence affects a person, there are certain anomalies within them, and apparently Red or Alan didn't show any signs of that. And Cross didn't really want to deal with that, but he didn't want to deal with that, but he was especially curious about whether or not what would happen to Mana if he were to get close to innocence in that time frame, and even considers killing Alan at that time, which again really kind of makes me question. So it's like, what was really going on with Mana? What's Mana's real connection with the Millennium Earl and all that? You have all this talk of the 14th, and Mana was really the Millennium Earl. It was like, no, Nea was really the Millennium Earl. I feel very lost as to what the connection truly is here, because it feels like it bounces around so much. And then you have the fact that Mana looks like the human form of the Millennium Earl. And I'm sorry if this was actually already explained. Please tell me in the comment section below, because I feel like I'm at a loss for what has actually been explained up until this point. And we even have Cross say that the man Alan, and who became Nea's host 35 years ago, should have been in his 30s. But when he looks at the boy, he's just like, okay, that can't be who I'm looking for. So apparently there's some connection with this Alan person. Is that why, Red, or so he's called, is called Alan? Was there this previous person called Alan? And if that's the case, why does it feel like we're only just finding out about that now? And how could that person have reincarnated into the current Alan Walker after all this time? But it's just like, he really does consider killing this kid and thinks, okay, maybe it's not time. I don't really want to have to kill a kid, blah, blah, blah. Mana forgot that he is apparently the Millennium Earl, so there's that distinction too. But then how was Mana there's still that disconnect, because Mana was brought back as an Akuma by Alan, coaxed into it by the Millennium Earl. So how did that work out? Because Alan got that curse mark from Mana when he was just like, I curse you, Alan, I curse you, how dare you turn me into an Akuma. Was that a lie? Was that a lie? That's what I'm questioning. Was that moment all of a lie? But, now we're hearing that Mana was the Millennium Earl, and it's just like, how does that line up, though? Because if Mana's the Millennium Earl, Nea's the 14th, then who was the Millennium Earl of that time? How does, that square does not fit in that circle there, man. It doesn't, and I feel like I'm not getting enough explanation about that. It feels like we're tiptoeing around the real issue and a major plot point that I don't feel is being filled in right now. And it's frustrating because I love this series and I want to understand. I really want to understand. But it's just like, oh, who knows when he'll turn into the Millennium Earl again. It's just like, but how? Like, I feel like we're leading up to an answer, but we are really dragging our heels on this. But, they have their best chance of destroying the Earl. They never took it. What was Cross Martin's relation to Mana, Nea, all that stuff? Who was this previous Alan person? Just for all the answers I get, there's just not enough explanation. And then we cut over to stuff I really don't care about, specifically this douchebag Cosmonov, who's just teasing and just being really too much of a dick to Alan, or Red, I guess we should call him during the flashback. Just being a really big dick, and I'm so glad this guy dies later down the line when the Millennium Earl attacks the circus, because it's just like, yeah, fuck this guy, what a douchebag. But, he starts to say, oh, we're the same, in fact, you were better off because you were a lost cause from the start. I have noble blood. I'm not even supposed to be in a place like this. Like, what a haughty douchebag. And then Alan's dick-ass boss comes out thinking, oh, you shitty brat, you're slacking off, there's no food for you, hurry up and go feed the lions. It's just like, okay, like, are you trying to make it so I don't feel bad that these people die in the Millennium Earl's attack later down the line? Because I never did from the start. I didn't need to know who they were, and now I especially don't care who they were because they were a bunch of assholes. From the chef to the performance to the ringmaster himself. Fuck all of them treating Alan this way. Like, if you wanted to get me to hate him, congratulations, because I really do, but then we have a moment where Red's on the ground, kind of trying his best to push along the food cart, but he's hungry and emancipated and stuff. Like, he's starving. It's just like, you don't get good work from people if you starve them. I never understood that policy. It's just like, why would you, well, how good do you think they could work if they don't get enough nutrients? But whatever. Red spots Mana, who seems to be off to the side crying or just really sad, and then the dog Alan spots Red looking at them, and Red seems to have some kind of connection with, Alan. Well, Alan seems to have some kind of connection with Red, as we see Red has snuck off a loaf of bread in order to actually get some form of sustenance in, but because it's late at night and he was supposed to be cleaning up all the equipment, he was slacking off. But Alan the dog takes one of the balls that he was supposed to be cleaning, so he's just like, oh no, I can't let the dog steal that ball. They're gonna let me starve if I lose one of the props. Red goes chasing Alan across the snow, but Red doesn't have that kind of stamina. He doesn't have the energy in him, because all he's had to eat was a small piece of bread. So he kind of collapses into the snow, pretty much giving himself up to the fate of starvation, only for Alan to come back and just spit the ball into Red's face. It's very obvious that, Alan is just playing around with Red. We have this fun little moment where, Alan's just trickily getting the ball away from Red at every turn. And he's just really messing with Red for the most part. Eventually Red gives up, just like, okay, I don't have the energy to spend on all of this. And, Alan gives Red a nice little lick, and, it's a good little dog. He's a good, sweet little puppy. It's unfortunate we know you die later down the line because of, some dickbag, but Red's really taken aback by this whole situation. But Mana starts to kind of wake up to the sounds of this voice off in the distance telling him, Mana, keep walking. And then he wakes up in this dream in this wheat field where he thinks he hears the voice of Nea, and he's at that childhood home where he was raised along with, Nea when they were children and all that good stuff, the place where his mother lived, and it's just really surrealist stuff, and he even spots the Millennium Earl in his dream, and then all of a sudden he converts back to his younger self, which, all these Akuma people all look the same, so he starts to fear the Millennium Earl and, steps back as he reverts to a younger form and all that, and it's just like, I really don't know what any of this means, though. Is he just so hell-bent on hiding away these memories? But it still doesn't connect, because Nea pulled some shit. They got him in trouble with and he and his brother had to flee. His brother was still human, whereas Nea was taken over by the spirit of an Akuma, and so he had to flee. They fled together, only for Nea to eventually have been killed by the Millennium Earl, and then that was the end of it, and, Mana just continues to have bad memories about what the Earl did. But was it just that the Earl had possessed Mana, and that's where it went from there? Is that how that worked? Was Mana always the Earl? And if so, why? Why does he have no recollection? Why does he retain his human mindset if that's the case? Why does Mana have no recollection of the fact that he killed his own brother? Was it that traumatic? panic to his actual human self? Would that have even mattered? Because it seems like most Akuma who take over a human host completely override the human form of that host. I really am at such a loss. I'm at such a loss. But, you know, Mana wakes up, he gives a hug to Alan over the bad dream, and, you know, he really wonders where Nea is, only for a voice to call out that he's right there. So I don't know what voice it is, but Mana's tormented, and we're just gonna have to see where it goes within the next few months. I'm really so lost on this. I really feel like one step forward and 12 steps back, to a point where I just don't understand where we're going with all this. What am I learning here? What am I, you know, being made to understand? Because it really feels like I am just not, it's not clicking. It's not clicking. And maybe it's just because of the massive gaps between chapters that it's not clicking. But, like, I reread all of the D.Gray-man not that long ago, and I understood all of it up to the point that Alan went on the run. And after that, I still hit that same wall of, okay, now I have no idea where this is going anymore. And it really makes me feel very sad, because I love this series and I want to enjoy it, but I'm so frustrated by how dumb I feel for not understanding where this is going. And that seems to be every video I make about this series. It's just, I don't understand. These hiatuses are killing me. I have no memory of anything that happened. I love this series, but I just don't understand. Sadness. What can you do? I'll continue reading up until the bitter end, but it's hard to tell when that end's eventually gonna come. So many things have just changed, and we're in a spot where it just feels like we're not really leading up to an actual conclusion for anything. I don't know. Tell me if you're able to keep up with where we're at. Tell me if you understand anything. Tell me your thoughts and theories about what the connection is between Mana, Nea, the Millennium Earl, Alan, Cross Martin. Like, there's just a clusterfuck of just a lack of information and clarity. And I'm interested to know what the ultimate deal is, but it feels like I'm going to be, you know, in my 50s by the time I even get an actual answer, if I get that. And I'm not blaming it on the author. I know she's been through a lot, but I want to love this series, but I'm just frustrated at every turn. Well, if you like this series, if you like this video, leave me a like. If you didn't, give me a dislike and tell me what I did wrong in the comment section below. Subscribe and hit the bell icon, that way you never miss out on another D.Gray-man chapter review. And until the next video, remember you can always find me on social media by googling Duuz-Diz-Din. I'm everywhere, for better or for worse. And until next time, until the next time, there are connections that link us all, and some of them are less clear than others. Till next time, I'm Duuz-Diz-Din, and I think it's time for bed. My head hurts. Bye-bye.